Good evening, guys, and happy Wednesday to all of your sunshiny faces. I don't have a grocery haul for you guys today. I think I'd mentioned this, but my dad and Jack have football practice. Football started this week because the kids actually, the high school kids, they went back to school. Officially started today, but they've had practice all week so far, like Monday and Tuesday also. But this is the first week of practice, so they have practice right after school from like 3 until I don't know if it's 5 or 6 o'clock or something like that. Sometimes like Jack and my dad normally get home around 6. So I'm thinking it probably ends in more like 5 or, you know, a little after 5, whatever. And then also too, cause like probably ends at 5 maybe, but then like the kids have to get out of their pads and like change and, you know, all that kind of stuff most of the time. So sometimes they can't leave right away when it ends. But like I said, cause like there was one night, I want to say it was maybe yesterday or the day before that or something, like on Monday, one of those days they got home before 6 o'clock, and then there was one day where it was a little bit later. But yeah, like I said, I don't know. Anyways, they have practice though right now, like kind of in the evenings or whatever. But it's not so late. So like I asked my dad, I was like, well, when are we gonna go to the grocery stores now, you know, because football's starting again? And he's like, oh, well, we can still go after football because it'll still like be early enough, you know, where we can again probably go on Wednesday or go to like do Meyer on Wednesday after football, or go to like, you know, he might be able to go to Tony's and Caputo's maybe on Saturday or maybe on Sunday or something like that, and then go to like Jewel. We'll probably do that on Saturdays, and like I said, it depends on when he's going to go to Tony's and Caputo's. But I finished all of those grocery lists today because again, I didn't know when we were going to end up going. So I got through all of that. I actually got a lot of stuff done, and I was up so early this morning. I woke up at 8 o'clock, like right before my alarm started going off, because my nose was so stuffed up, but it was like one side, and like it was not like clearing up like at all. It was so bad that it was like giving me a sore throat this morning, and I was like convinced originally, I was like, I'm getting sick. I was like, you know, that has to be what this is. Like, you know, I have a sore throat, my nose is all stuffed up. Like I sat up and I had like a little bit of water. It was like instantly like gone, and then all of a sudden I could breathe again and my nose wasn't like stuffed up anymore. But it's still been like this side that has been like stuffed up more, and I'm wondering if it's from the drywall dust from the other room, because Monday, I think, when me and Jack were painting, like my dad had cut, you know, the hole in the ceiling on Sunday. She cut in for the new lights, but I feel like on Monday, like again when we were painting, it kind of kicked some stuff up because my air purifier that's in this room was like running really high. Like the air was like not very good, you know, because it like senses that, so then it changes to like what, you know, type of like, you know, fan it needs to use or whatever. It's not always at like a high function. If the air is like normal like it is right now, it's like at a very low function. But again too, like the fan will be like blowing like crazy if it's really bad, and it was on Monday. But I also think that could be why my nose has been like all weirdly kind of stuffed up like today. But it started yesterday, like afternoon sort of. But then again too, this morning 8 o'clock woke me up, and then I could not fall back asleep at all, and I was like, great. So I got up early, got some stuff done, and like I said, did the grocery list and everything like that. But one thing that I don't want to say it's good news, it was just I was totally anticipating this Friday that there was the football game. It's not actually this Friday, and I probably should have looked on the calendar on the fridge because it was written down, but I just thought that like they started football this week, and I was like, it is kind of weird that like they have 1 week of football before they, like, you know, and they have the scrimmage on the first week. But I wanted to say that it wasn't that weird because like I was telling you guys, they used to do like the scrimmage where they would scrimmage themselves, and I always thought that was technically like the first week of football or whatever. But it's always kind of been different. Like I was also telling you guys, and I don't know if it was yesterday or 2 days ago, about how like one year they had construction, so like when Matthew was playing football, and the school ended up like they didn't start school for like maybe a couple weeks later than like when most other districts were starting. And because of that though, Matthew played the first full official football game before they had actually went back to school. And so it was like a really weird kind of experience, like, you know, for the kids to be playing football but not actually be in school yet, and it being like an official school like football game that like counts for the record. It wasn't just like a scrimmage or anything. Obviously, like I was saying, you know, every year like that it differs kind of. So again, though, I was thinking that it was this Friday, and the other reason too was because I was like, oh well, nobody's like mentioned it to me that, you know, like this Friday is like the game, and which maybe sounds like it would be more weird that they didn't mention it to me and me thinking that it is on Friday then. But like my dad too, like both of the scrimmages, he didn't even tell me when they were starting. So I was like, oh, it must just be like, you know, assuming in my own head that like it's gonna be when I think it's going to be, and at least having the idea that it was going to be on Friday. Then I started convincing myself that it was on Friday, and it was never on Friday. It wasn't this Friday, it's next Friday. And that's the first like scrimmage game. So they actually have 2 full weeks of no official game until they actually start the regular season games. So yeah, it's not until next week, which like I said, I was like gearing up for literally all week so far. And then I finally ended up asking Jack, because it's just randomly like kind of crossed my mind without like being official yet. But today I was finally like, I'm gonna ask Jack. Like I remembered during the day while he was like still up and awake and everything. So it's like, Jack, is the football game this Friday? And he's like, no, it's not until next week. He's like, you know, he was like, I don't think so. And then I was like, well, I'll double check on the calendar. And like I said, I double checked on the calendar. Sure enough, it's you know, it says that it's next week. But like regardless, my dad and Jack both have to be there on Friday, even though there's not a game, because they still have practice. But you know, so like for Jack, he's just like, oh yeah, you know, I just show up, and if there's a game, you know, if it's practice, whatever, you know, kind of thing. So it's, I mean, it's different for them, but it's not entirely different for them. But at the same time too, not hearing a lot of talking about it being this Friday. But then I was also thinking too, like they've talked a little bit about it, like not the game, but like just being back for football now that like summer camp's over. This is like the official start of the football season, like this week. Like I've overheard them like talking and stuff like that about like football and things, but just not about specifically it being this Friday. So yeah, it's not, it's next week. So like I said, I was kind of like gearing up and everything like that. I was even checking the weather. Like today I looked, it was supposed to rain like this evening, and then it was also supposed to rain I think tomorrow, but then also on Friday did have a much less chance than it does tomorrow. But I was looking, I was like, okay, like how are we gonna prepare? Like, you know, like if it's gonna rain, we need to figure out like, you know, should I bring my rain poncho? Should I, you know, like I'm thinking about all these things, and I didn't even need to be, because yeah, it's not this week, it's next week. But I actually already took a shower, so I don't even need to, because I was like, I want to see if that will help my sinuses. Like, I don't know, to like maybe, I don't think I have like a sinus infection or anything like that, but I just think it's been like from the dust and stuff like that in the room, or maybe it's kind of like residual from like, you know, us like having working in there and, you know, that kind of thing recently. And you know, like I said, what it is. But yeah, my nose was all stuffed up, and I don't think I really sound stuffed up, but it doesn't feel stuffed up anymore. And I took a shower and it felt so much better, like the one side that felt like worse than the other side. And so I think the shower helped a lot in, you know, like me being able to breathe a little bit better. But I don't, it was so weird. I woke up this morning like totally convinced. I was like, I'm sick. I was like, this is horrible. Not only that too, I'm thinking that it's horrible that I'm going to get sick because Friday's going to be the football game. And then I'm also thinking like, oh, and it's going to rain and like all that kind of stuff, right? And then, you know, like all the stuff that I'm thinking is going to happen is, it's not happening. It's not, we don't have the football game on Friday. I'm not, you know, like I said, I feel completely fine now. No sore throat. My nose isn't stuffed up or anything. I think, like I said, it's just from the drywall dust. At least that's what I'm hoping it was from. But ever since I took a shower, I felt fine. But anyways, though, I'm going to get to bed, so I'll see you guys in tomorrow's vlog. If you guys did enjoy today's, make sure you guys give a big old thumbs up. If you guys are new, we'd love it if you'd subscribe, and I'll see all of your sunshiny faces tomorrow. So bye, guys.